Hi guys. Alright, I'm back. I got a video that I find very important, and I'm going to try and make this one quick, to the point, and I'm going to really try to not have a sailor mouth this time so much, because I want this video to be able to be for I want it to be for kids. I want it to be, it might not be so much because I might swear a little bit, but I'm going to try really hard to not just fly off the handle like I usually do. So, since it's going to be short and to the point, the beginning half of it is going to be the absolute stigma. This is the reason for this video is I am so sick of the stereotypes that come with anxiety. So firsthand, I'm a 26-year-old adult. I am going to explain to you so much. I was just sitting in the doctor's office the other day, and I was like, no, this needs to be discussed. It's going to be discussed. I think it's really important for girls to hear this at a young age, because I really wish I knew that it was going to take me this long to learn what I've learned. And I feel like this should be discussed. It should be able to be talked about so much earlier. And it looks like it will be in upcoming generations, and that's great. So I'm going to talk about that, and then towards the end, just like every video that I do, I'm going to talk about ways that I handle having the anxiety, as well as if you are somebody who's trying to be supportive of somebody with it. I'm going to help you with that. So, first of all, I'm sitting in the doctor's office, and I was by myself, and I realized like how common it is for me, and it can be for any girl that you look at and you think is so normal. Like, a lot of people have misconceptions with me because I'm covered in tattoos, or like I was a social butterfly for a while, like, and I'm a server, and like you would just think like, and I look so normal because I don't talk about things. Chances are, if you have somebody with very high anxiety in your life, or like you're an acquaintance with, you have no clue, because people that see me out at the club and like whatever, and I'm drinking and having a great old time, like they have no idea that I've panicked 4 times because I don't know where the nearest bathroom is, and like, so it's just, there's so much. And I realized this because I was sitting there, and like until this year, my anxiety was so much, I think it started just really surfacing because I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody about it. Because if you just say, oh, I have anxiety, boom, that's it. Like, you're dramatic, you're a worrywart. Like, people just get ideas, there's stereotypes, there's stigmas. Like, okay, first of all, like, because somebody has anxiety, that doesn't mean you just know what they have anxiety about, or they're afraid of everything, or like whatever. Like, there's so many things. People shouldn't be afraid to say things about themselves like that. Like, there shouldn't be something that comes along with that. And it kills me that like somebody feels inadequate or weird or anything. Like, I am such a okay, just because somebody has anxiety doesn't make them somebody who doesn't like themselves or doesn't think that they're good enough, or like whatever. That doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm one of the highest anxiety people I know, and I love who I am. I think I'm great. But does that mean I'm perfect? No, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. It just means I like who I am. I very much enjoy, okay, this is a good example of like somebody who has high anxiety that you wouldn't really know. Like, the way I know a lot of people see me, I'm very bubbly, I'm very outgoing, I'm very kind, I'm courteous, I have manners, I talk to people, I treat people like human friggin' beings. And I love that about myself. But there's some days that I can't get myself to go somewhere because my anxiety is so bad that I just know I can't talk to them, or my vibes are off and I don't want to give somebody a negative vibe or make them think anything different of me. And it makes me panic more because, like, sometimes I feel great. Like, sometimes I get into a social situation, words are hard, where I meet people and like automatically they think I'm funny, and like, okay, perfect, icebreaker, yas. But other times it's not like that, and there's standoffish people or whatever, and you just automatically are like, so, shit, I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Okay, it's because I'm rushing. I just want to make it so short and sweet. Okay, so if it was easy enough, trust me, ladies with anxiety, I understand, men, boys, guys, everybody with anxiety, wouldn't it be lovely? I know you understand what I mean when I say anxiety doesn't mean you're not confident about yourself. If we could walk out of the house into a social situation and be like, I really like that I'm bubbly, and I'm actually a really nice person, and I genuinely care about if you want a coffee or not when I'm coming to you because I'm stopping at the Dunkin' Donuts on the way, and all of these things that we think about, like, if we could be like, I look really good in this outfit today, and I feel confident that the people I'm going to meet, this family for the first time, I'm a good person, so they're going to think so too. If it was that easy, like, people are like, so stop freaking out. We wouldn't have anxiety if it was as easy as being like, okay, well, I know that I'm a good person, so there that is. We wouldn't have anxiety, okay? We can't, because people with anxiety are just so over analytical. And trust me, if I could just live my life, if I could have one wish, it would be to live one solid day of my life just living, not thinking about anything. I don't go to certain places sometimes because I know I have to take a left turn out of there and there's a heavy traffic area with no stoplight, okay? Who thinks that far in advance? I do. People with anxiety are so over analytical. We just think of everything in advance, and we think about not just what we're doing or what could happen, but we think about people, and we think about, we think about everything. Like, we plan when people are coming to see us before they come and see us, and what we're going to do, or what we could like do to make them think we were caring and thinking about them, and we think so much. And sometimes a big problem is that sometimes how much we think about something, we are so used to it that it's normal, and then when somebody doesn't overanalyze something, we're like, does that mean they care less? Like, that's a huge part, because as you guys know, with my videos, I talk about traits of things and whatnot, but I'm here because I want to help you. I try really hard to respond to my emails. I actually haven't been able to get into my YouTube messages. I don't know why, so I'm sorry if you sent them. I will get to them. My Tumblr's usually better. However, anyways, damn it. Why am I the worst at remembering what I'm talking about? Fuck. Oh, sorry. It's because I'm racing. Over analytical. Oh yeah, so I do not justify enabling by any means, and I know there's been a lot of evil comments that are mad and like whatever, and I just called you evil, so you're probably gonna get mad again, but you know what I meant. They're just sometimes derogatory or mean for no reason. There's attacking, there's name calling, and I don't support that because I think that's very hypocritical for you to come on this site where people come for help, and then you're cussing them out. Sweet pea, I'm sorry, but that means you have your own shit. So go wipe your hands. I don't understand why people come here for hate in the first place. I love every fucking human being, period. Like, you're here because I want to know you. I don't care if you have anxiety or don't have anxiety. I'd still talk to you. Cool. This is strictly for people that are saying, I have a problem. Help me to deal with it. So I don't understand. Anyways, so I'm by no means enabling when I'm saying, okay, sometimes they overthink things, and then, so you need to support that, like, whatever. People are here because they realize something is a little bit different about them, and they want to work on it, or they want to understand it, and they want to help you understand it. So keep your hate, because that's not okay to hate on. We're humans, and we're just trying to do it right, okay? So anyways, we're over analytical about everything. Sensitive. I'm very sensitive. Like, what's a good example? Like, I don't even know. Sometimes if I'm being cute and it's not reciprocated, or little tiny things, I can worry that I care more or whatever because, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't make sense. I'm not saying it makes sense. Or that it's okay. So I've learned very much, well, how to handle it. I'll get into that later. So I tend to be very, very sensitive. We tend to be known as control freaks, or we have to have control over a situation. I know I love having control over a situation, but not because I need to have control, but because I feel like since I plan everything out so much that if I can't have something go the way I intended it to go, I'm not prepared. And then I get all freaked out. Like I said, I wish I could just live a day where I'm just living and things aren't planned out. But I don't know how to function like that. And I love being around people that are laid back or that'll just be like, okay, let's just go do this. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a fucking huge deal. Like, what do you mean? Now we're going to do this and then this comes first and then blah, blah. So I love when people are just like, okay, well, we were going to do that. Now we're going to do this and the world's going to be okay. And then I'm like, you're right. Yes. Thinking, we think a lot. We think very much. We think up, we think down, we think left, we think right, we think absolutely everything. When we're home and you think we're in bed just laying there watching TV, we don't just lay and watch TV. People with anxiety do not just lay and read a book. We are reading a book, yeah, absolutely. We'll get through maybe like a page an hour because we're also thinking about something, always. Our feelings are very easily hurt. Again, not that I'm saying that's your problem. I'm just saying if you're here, it's probably to either understand and try and be understanding about it, or you or yourself have anxiety. So I get it. I got you. You got a lot of feels going on. Same here. Second guessing is a huge thing. God, there's nothing worse than being so sure of something and then just thinking it's not going to work out anymore or something changed or like whatever, and we don't want to fail at something or look stupid and, oh, what do we do? What do we do? There we go. We're overthinking. We're second guessing. Okay, so these are all things that people with anxiety go through, and I think that I made this video because I think it's such a problem that we don't even know half the time when somebody has anxiety, because to them, they're thinking so much that it seems almost impossible for them to just be like, oh, what's wrong? I seem off. Well, actually, I was thinking about how you wanted to go to the mall, except you want to go to the mall at this time, and I have to go pick up this at this time, so I didn't know if we were going to have time to do this, and then plus I'm not going to have my car, so how much is the time travel going to be to get back to my car, and then am I going to be late for that? That happens instantly. Did you see how quick I came up with that? And that's not even actually happening today. What? Yes. Everything has to have a plan. And, like, yeah, it happens like that. When you wake up next to your significant other and they're like, hey, do you want to do this today? Except you had something else planned, and then you're like, yeah, like, it's just not easy to live sometimes, man. It's not. And I understand that. And it's exhausting. And, like, the worst part, especially because I just started being able to talk to people about it, is, like, you go through this for years by your fucking self. So you drive yourself nuts. And you have no idea. And this is why I'm saying that this video should be for teens and kids and whatever, too. Because chances are, your kid feels like this, and you just think they're really grumpy or secluded or they don't want to do something. If your kid doesn't want to do certain things a lot of the time, I guarantee you they have anxiety about it. Are they going to necessarily talk to you just because you're like, I know you have anxiety? No, probably not. However, there are ways to approach these things. And why I want kids to see this video is because I spent so long avoiding things and keeping quiet and keeping to myself and being a hermit because I didn't want to go in someone else's car to the club in Boston and not have my own car or be able to leave when I want to. And then if I'm freaking out in the club or I don't feel good or I have anxiety, I don't have anybody to talk to about it because they don't know that I'm going to have anxiety at that club. So then I just freak out and then I probably just don't go. Or I get really drunk so that I don't have anxiety and then I do get sick and then, oh, what am I going to do now? I'll go sit in a parking lot by myself. That's what happens. Like, But life doesn't have to be like that. And I was so self-conscious and like uncomfortable for so long that it took me almost 27 years to learn what I'm trying to tell you right now. Fuck stereotypes. I said it. I said the F word. I'm not mad about it. Fuck stereotypes. It's not okay. It is not okay that people have to feel weird or like the annoying girl or like whatever if they're like if they talk about something. And I have made myself so much more anxious not talking about something. So my first fucking thing in how to help your anxiety, talk about it. Talk about it. I am finally in a relationship, which is marvelous, that I can say things out loud and not feel judged or weird. And the funny thing is, I'll be sitting there with anxiety for an hour before I actually say something, and as soon as I do, and it's out loud, my God, suddenly I don't feel like I'm going to throw up on everyone's shoes. Like, it helps so much just to surround yourself with people you can know are okay to fucking talk to. Like, shit, man. For example, like, my girlfriend also, thank God, has 2 roommates that are, like, super understanding, and I had just met them, so of course I have anxiety. Also, she lives far away from my house, so it's not like I can just be like, oh my God, I'm uncomfortable, I'm gonna go home, like, I'll see you later. No, like, can't do that. So when I go there, I'm staying there, and all at once when I had first met her, I get sick really, really easy with food that I eat. Do I want to be the sick kid all the time? No. Do I want to tell everybody about my allergies? No. Do I want to tell everybody about my health issues? No. I don't. Because I don't. If you start talking about something, you have to be like, well, this happens, but this is why, and blah, blah. And, like, nobody wants to be that person when you meet somebody. And then we had gone to a mall, and I didn't feel good. And also I have, like, anxiety in malls. And it was a mall I'd never been to, so I didn't know where the restrooms were. And if I feel like I have anxiety, then I feel sick. And if I feel sick and I don't know where a bathroom is, I lose my fucking mind. Mind you, this is all with a straight face. Just walking around the mall smiling. But inside, I'm like hyperventilating because I didn't know what to do. And I was freaking out and I didn't feel good. But they kind of knew that I didn't feel good. And I was a little bit open already that I had anxiety a little bit and like whatever. So they weren't prodding me. They're not like, are you okay? Are you okay? Hello? Hello, are you okay? But, like, it's so good when you can surround yourself with people that are, like, they just know you. And they're like, something's up. Let's go home. And that's not exactly how it went. But, I mean, for the most part, I was comfortable enough to be like, I don't feel good. And I could say it. And, like, as I got more comfortable, that was just, like, the first time meeting them. And so now that I had met them, and it's not just them, it's me being okay with talking about things. Like, I'll have such bad anxiety over something, and then if I just say, like, anything, whatever I'm thinking about, just word vomit, man. Just open your mouth and say exactly what you're thinking about, even if you think it sounds insane. Because even better, if it is actually crazy, that it's not rational at all, when you say it out loud, you're kind of going to be like, well, that's kind of silly. And you're going to feel 1,000 times better. And also, when you put these things out there, someone has the chance to say, oh, well, and say something reassuring that's going to make you fucking feel better. Or even better yet, they'll say something that completely distracts you, and 5 minutes later, you're like, I feel great. Whoa, how'd you do that? That is my other thing. Distract your fucking self. If you... Sometimes I can't distract myself because I know I'm trying to distract myself, so then I still just actually focus on what I'm anxious about. If people around you know, hey, what works for me is to distract me, I don't see why they wouldn't. Like I said, it's not their job, no. But I feel like this is just one of those steps in helping anxiety. Like, it really is, because once you tackle the anxiety in the face and say, okay, this is a thing, let it be a thing. The more you try and make it not be a thing, the bigger that thing is inside of you, trapped. It's trapped inside of you, therefore it's overwhelming the fuck out of you. Let it out. Let it be a thing. Let it exist. And then, as soon as it exists, it's not a big fucking deal, because you can make it nothing. You can say, okay, that's silly, whatever. Just don't fucking pay attention. Be like, hey, here this is. Say it. And then it's out there. Like, it feels so much better. And then since you already talked about it, you can talk about anything. I don't even understand. Maybe it's not making sense, but just try it, and you're gonna understand what I'm saying. The best thing I've learned is say it out loud. Just talk about it. Talk about how you feel. And that is why I made this video, because people think that they just can't talk about things because it doesn't make sense to somebody else or look whatever. And there's all these stupid stereotypes. So if you don't want to say, don't say I have anxiety or like whatever. Or do. Fuck, man. Do. Let's kill the stigma on anxiety and take it for what it fucking is. Anxiety can mean I don't want to take a left turn out of that fucking place because I'm afraid because there's going to build up a line of cars behind me because I'm waiting to go left and I can't go left and then everybody's going to beep at me and I'm going to freak out. That could be anxiety. Or your anxiety could be, I'm nervous to meet your family because what if I sneeze while they're talking to me? Or like things like that. You know what? Here's the thing. You're probably going to meet that family anyways, yeah? So distract yourself, man. Because you're going to meet them anyways. So what the fuck is the point in building everything up inside of you? Don't. Talk about it. Say that shit. Be like, I'm afraid that I'm actually going to throw up on your dinner table because I don't know where your bathroom is. So let's take a tour of the house. Get a little cozy first, please. Thank you. Perfect. Talk about it. Say it out loud. Nail that shit in the butt. I promise you, it's going to help. Okay, that's for people with anxiety. Now, you lovely... I friggin' love... 90% of my messages are people who come here commenting on a BBD video about a certain trait or whatever that are trying to support somebody that they know has it, or trying to understand how they can help their part in having a healthy relationship to help. Bless you, humans. Bless you. You're doing life right. Your soul is gold. Yes. So you people, you find people that come here to help people. So you have a loved one with anxiety. Man. They're exhausted, I'll tell you that. Shit. Ways people could support me. This is hard too, because like I said, I just started being able to like have it, like to let it be a thing. And I think, yeah, the best thing I can do, well, for like people that I'm comfortable with, is let it be a thing, but let it be as stupid of a thing as it really is. Like, first of all, stay away from caffeine if you have anxiety. I learned that lesson like over and over and over. Like the other day, I drank coffee on the way to my doctor's office, which was a 2-hour drive. I thought that I was going to die in the mountains, and it was going to take too long for anybody to find me, and nobody was going to pick my daughter up from school, and yeah, like sometimes things will trigger your anxiety, like caffeine, and that's not even normal. Like I just genuinely thought I was going to die, and then I just thought that I was being obnoxious and that I didn't like that part of myself that is ridden with anxiety, and that's going to make me unappealing to my girlfriend, and she's not going to like me anymore. It's insane. Don't drink coffee. Just don't. Shit, what was I saying? Okay. Ways to support. So people I'm comfortable with, they can make it a joke. Be like, just talk about it with them, and then once you talked about it, they can talk about anything else. Like I said, I don't. A lot of like I just told my family that I think I had anxiety. They laughed at me. They apparently already knew. My roommate as well was like, "You think you have anxiety? You are anxiety." Talking about it is the best thing, and then you guys can just talk. But also, so to support someone with it, if they're having an anxious moment, taking the reins helps a lot. Like if they're anxious about going somewhere that you guys are going, like you're gonna go, if they're coming with you to like your friend's party, for instance, they're not gonna know what to wear. They're gonna be panicking about if you're gonna leave during the party and they're gonna be standing there by themselves and they don't know anybody, and like what if they haven't talked to anybody yet, this and that, blah blah blah. Don't. Help them pick out an outfit. Be like, you look fucking great. Perf. Meet me here. Let's go. Like just take the reins. Be like, all right, do you want to have a drink right now, like before we go? Okay, let's get in the car. Like just push them along. You know what I mean? Like because they're going to be dragging their fucking heels, and if you're not like just with them every step of the way, like for instance me, I just won't go to places. Like, I'll find every reason to just not go somewhere. Especially if I don't feel like that person cares if I'm there or not. Because then I'm like, ooh. Because you can't just be like, oh, well, here's the thing. I'm anxious about the fact that I don't know anybody, and if you don't want me to be there, then you're going to be talking to other people, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways. Yeah, if you know they have anxiety, probably don't leave them in a room that they're sitting by themselves, because that's not nice. But I'm not asking you to baby them either. And person with anxiety, don't ask to be babied, because this is us building a better version of ourselves. Get them comfortable. Just give them a minute, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you ease somebody into an anxious situation comfortably, then they're going to open up. They're going to become, as long as you bring me somewhere and I'm comfortable, then I feel good about myself, and I feel it doesn't fuck my vibes up, it doesn't make me have negative energy, and therefore I'm still going in feeling like myself, and then that way I'm very much a happy person. Like, people with anxiety aren't just like negative social crabs that just sit there and like don't want to talk to somebody. They just have anxiety. So if you already have them not feeling anxious, they're going to fucking flourish, because all the people I know with anxiety, including myself, are actually really funny people. But they're just so nervous all the time because they don't want to mess something up. Or, like, they're nervous. Sometimes they don't know how to interact. They're nervous to interact a certain way with people they just meet and, like, whatever. So give them a second. Like, I don't know. That's just helping someone be comfortable is a good way to obviously be there for them. I'm trying to think of other things that I get anxious over. Or let's say they drank a coffee and they're feeling like shit. Make them chug water, first of all. And that's hard because that's caffeine that's making them anxious. So it's not like you can just be like, distract them completely and think about something else. But, I mean, that is good, yes. I prefer put on, like, a Kevin Hart clip on YouTube or something. Like, put on something you know is hilarious, and that's probably the best way to distract somebody is with something hilarious. Also, I mean, if someone's stuck somewhere and they have anxiety or whatever, show up with a chocolate. Just show up. If you're you can only text them or whatever. If you feel like somebody with anxiety is off, therefore they're probably overthinking. Oh my God. I don't know if she's going to watch this video or not. Hopefully not. So in my new relationship, I think she's already saved my overthinking probably a handful of times, because when I do have anxiety, I'm just unsure of everything. I just all of a sudden feel inadequate completely. And there's been about a handful of times now that she has just sporadically sent me something so nice or so sweet when I'm overthinking, and she didn't even know I was overthinking. And it completely solidifies, like, reestablishes you feeling good enough and wanted or, like, whatever, and calm. And even if it's not your loved one, if it's a friend, like, and you know they have anxiety or whatever, like, just tell them they're great. Tell them they're funny. Like, they have a minute of uncertainty, because I think we just get so overwhelmed. We think of so many fucking things, man. And, like, it is genuinely exhausting to exist in a body with anxiety. It really is. Because there's never a time where we're not thinking about something. Damn it. I really hate when my videos have, like, the best point ever when I'm, like, in the situation and I'm like, going through it, and I'm like, I'm going to make a video about this because this needs to have a video. And then I, like, make the video, but it's, like, a day later, and I'm like, what was I going to say again? And then I feel like it has no point. Boo, you whore. Okay. Anyways, so I'm going to wrap it up. I think that I wish I learned any of this so many decades sooner, because I spent so many years of my 20s, like, first of all, being a hermit, just not going to certain situations or doing certain things because I was scared to look silly, or that I wouldn't know people, or, like, whatever, and, like, just don't. You just can't, man, because first of all, fuck the stereotype, like I said. Like, that's the first thing that has to happen. and do things. Just don't not live your life, and don't not tell people about things because you have anxiety, because chances are, even funnier, so many people you know have anxieties about certain things, but you don't know because we don't talk about it because of this goddamn stereotype. So, like I said, I think if I showed 75% of the people that know me this video, they'd be like, she's afraid to take left-hand turns. I'm afraid to take left-hand turns. I'm afraid of everything. Everything. If I started right now and told you what the fuck I'm afraid of, no. Let's not play that game. Like I said, I'll make it a thing, but I'm not going to sit here. I think left-hand turns gives you an example of how afraid of everything I am and how much I think. So, chances are, people you think are so, and I'm not saying like everybody has anxiety or like whatever, but I'm just saying like I look like a pretty normal person in my opinion. Like with the groups of people I hang out with and whatever, like I blend in pretty fucking well. And not only do I blend in well, but I'm very bubbly and I have the confidence of a log. And you wouldn't know how much I seriously overthink every single thing that I do, everywhere that I am. And it's exhausting, and it makes me sick a lot, and I just want to stay home to avoid it. When in reality, I love life so much, but I just haven't been. For like the last couple of years, I've just been a hermit at home because I'm just too scared to live my life, and since I can't talk about it out loud, I just stay home. And that stops now. Like I'm done. It stops because I'm not afraid of being stereotyped anymore. I'm not, and nobody should be. And kids need to know that growing up because it's killing them. And it's making us all live off medications and all these things. And don't get me wrong, I just started taking a medication. It's not exactly just an anxiety med. It's a multi-purpose med, but I took it more so because my anxiety was getting really bad in social situations, and I'm a server and like whatever. So I just wanted to see if I could have something, whatever. But I think a really huge step there. So like I said, there's situations where medication is an option, but for the most part, I think we could help anxiety so much if we weren't so scared to be open with things about ourselves, and we just shouldn't. As you guys know from this fucking channel, about everything that I talk about, I just don't feel like it's fair for anyone to ever have to feel like they have to be ashamed to be open about something. Because that's the best part, is when you're open about something, it's because you're acknowledging something about yourself and you're being honest. So why would somebody judge you for that? It just doesn't make sense to me. We're given one lifetime, man. Like one span of time that we don't know how long it's going to be on this planet. We should be spending it like appreciating every person for exactly every detail about them, and the fact that, wow, this makes up who that person is. That's wonderful. Like I get really, really bent sometimes because I know that I'm not going to get to know everybody that I meet, and I want to so bad because I just love how no matter, even people that try and fit in so much or like try and be something, no matter what you do, you are so ferociously yourself. And I think that is so fucking perfect. I think it's so great and so unique about humans that shine on, man. For real. Don't be ashamed to be yourself, and be nice to others. Always. Just be nice. Whether you have anxiety, they have anxiety, or both. Or neither. Even if you both don't have anxiety, then, yeah. Well, first of all, I want to be you. I'm just kidding. That was one of my other points, is like, I don't know, I feel like part of the stereotype is people are always like, oh, I wish I could be her, or like it means you don't want to, people think it means you don't want to be you, or like you're so envious, or like whatever. I very much want to be me. I love being myself. I love who I am. Sorry. I'm tired. I think so much. But it helps me to not have to think so much, because if you're not holding it in, then you don't have to think. because you're putting it out loud. So then you're just like, all right, well, there that is. And then bye, just discard it. But instead, spending years just overthinking and just keeping it inside, like I said, it overwhelms you. Let it be a thing. Let it live outside of you. Don't keep that shit in there, man. It's toxic. So, yes, that's all for this one. Messages, always appreciated. Tumblr. I do have my Instagram up. It's not really a thing for you guys. It's just my Instagram. You're obviously more than welcome on it, though. I know a few of you are. Actually, even if you go on there just to say, hey, I shot you a message on blah, 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 that makes sense. My username is the same for all of my shit. Maybe I'll start leaving an email because I actually get my emails. I don't know. Whatever, forever. I am done now. Keep it real. Keep it nice. Keep it kind. That's all.